Imagine this, you're alone, deep in the Canadian wilderness, hundreds of miles from civilization. You haven't seen another human being in weeks. Your body has lost nearly 45 pounds. Outside, the cold cuts straight through your bones. And in your hand, you're holding a bow that you built yourself, using wood and animal sinew. No camera crew, no support, no gear team, just you against the wild. That's exactly what this man did, and he didn't just survive. He won. His name is Clay Hayes. He's not an actor. He's not an influencer who decided one day to go off-grid for views. Clay Hayes is the real deal. A hunter, craftsman, wildlife biologist, and a true-born survivalist who has spent his entire life living in a way that very few people today would even dare to try. He was born and raised in the rural forests of Northwest Florida in the southern United States. As a kid, while other boys were watching TV, Clay was out fishing in swamps, tracking animals through the woods, and practicing primitive survival skills. This wasn't a hobby, this was his life. That passion led him to study wildlife ecology, where he earned a master's degree from Mississippi State University. After that, he spent nearly a decade working as a wildlife biologist for the Idaho Department of Fish and Game, one of the wildest states in the U.S. He had a good salary, a stable job, a solid career, but deep down, Clay always knew it wasn't enough. In 2009, Clay Hayes uploaded his first videos to YouTube. At the time, almost nobody was creating content about primitive hunting or traditional bow building. It was a niche within a niche. But Clay wasn't chasing fame. He wanted to share something he deeply loved, the art of living connected to nature in the most authentic way possible. His early videos were simple: how to build a bow from scratch, how to hunt squirrels, how to make arrows using wood and natural feathers. No expensive gear, no production team, just him, a camera, and the forest. And that is exactly what made him different. Over the years, his channel grew steadily. Videos about survival, traditional bow hunting techniques, primitive bow building, off-grid living, and real wilderness adventures. One of his most viral videos, about building a primitive water filter, has over 4 million views. People didn't just watch him, they followed him, studied him, respected him. In 2017, Clay made the boldest decision of his life. He quit his job as a biologist to go all in on YouTube, his educational platform, Twisted Stave Media, and teaching primitive archery through online courses and in-person workshops. He bet everything on his passion, and he won. If that already sounds incredible, just wait. Hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss the rest of this story and everything that's coming next. In 2021, the world discovered Clay Hayes in a completely different way. The History Channel selected him to compete in Season 8 of Alone, the most extreme survival show on American television. The concept of Alone is brutally simple. 10 people, 10 survival items each, and a remote, unforgiving wilderness, where they are completely isolated. No camera crew, no team, no human contact. They must film themselves while trying to survive as long as possible. The last person standing wins $500,000. Clay was dropped near Chilko Lake in British Columbia, Canada, a place known as Grizzly Bear Mountain. From his list of 10 items, he chose a sleeping bag, a pot, an axe, a saw, a multi-tool, a bow and arrows, paracord, fishing line and hooks, trapping wire, and a ferro rod for fire. Did you catch that? He brought his own bow, one he built himself, using native wood, natural fibers, and primitive techniques. He was the only contestant in the show's history to hunt using a handmade primitive bow, and it worked. While others dropped out from hunger, cold, or mental exhaustion, Clay built a shelter with a fireplace, hunted a mule deer with his bow, trapped rabbits, fished, foraged mushrooms and berries, and stayed mentally strong. He lost nearly 45 pounds, endured freezing rain, brutal temperatures, and lasted 74 days, completely alone. 74 days, and he won. First place, and the $500,000 prize. After Alone, his YouTube channel exploded. Thousands of new people discovered Clay Hayes and started asking, who is this guy? How did he learn all this? Where does he live? And just like that, a new chapter began. Today, Clay Hayes lives with his wife Liz, his partner since they were 17, and their two sons, Coy and Finn, on a 20-acre homestead near Kendrick, Idaho. Their house was built in 1954. They bought it as is, and have been improving it with their own hands ever since. The Hayes family lives a deeply self-sufficient life. Most of their food comes from hunting, fishing, foraging, and a large garden they grow themselves. They preserve and can their harvest for winter. Their children are raised learning how to track animals, build fires, and understand nature, not as something separate, but as home. Clay has said in multiple interviews that he chose Idaho over other Western states because of its diversity and the incredible opportunities it offers for hunting, fishing, and living close to nature. Idaho, he says, has no equal. Clay Hayes' YouTube channel, at Clay Hayes Hunter, now has over 930,000 subscribers and more than 109 million total views. That's over 500 videos across more than 15 years of consistent, honest, and passionate content. His content covers primitive bow building, traditional archery hunting, wilderness survival, food preparation and preservation, homestead life with his family, and lessons in self-reliance. His videos average around 24 minutes. These aren't quick, shallow clips. They're deep, educational, and cinematic in their own way. Some of his recent videos include how to make biltong without refrigeration, 3-day survival challenges with his dog, and gear guides for spending over 200 days outdoors. Each video is a window into a lifestyle most people only dream about. So, how much does Clay Hayes make on YouTube? That's the question everyone asks, and while no one knows the exact number, estimates from platforms like VidIQ and SpeakRJ give us a solid idea. Clay Hayes is estimated to earn between $15,000 and $35,000 per month from YouTube ad revenue alone. In high traffic years, that number can grow significantly. On top of that, he earns from Patreon, book sales like Traditional Archery Hunting and the Traditional Bowyer's Handbook, online courses through Twisted Stave Media, and brand partnerships with outdoor companies like Montana Knife Company. If you want to see exactly how he lives this life, his hunts, his adventures, everything he does, go check out his channel and hit subscribe right now. It costs you nothing, and you won't regret it. Clay Hayes isn't just a content creator, he's a preserver of ancient knowledge. In a world where more and more people are disconnected from nature, from where their food comes from, and from the skills their ancestors once considered basic, Clay has built a community of hundreds of thousands of people who want to reconnect. His books are sold worldwide. His bow building workshops are always full. He writes for publications like Traditional Bow Hunter magazine. He's been featured in podcasts, TV shows, and outdoor events across the country, and it all started with a kid from Florida, a camera, and a wooden bow. But what truly defines Clay Hayes isn't his achievements, it's his philosophy. For him, living well doesn't mean living comfortably. It means living authentically. It means knowing where your food comes from. It means teaching your kids how to build a fire, track animals, respect nature, and rely on their own hands. In one interview, Clay said something powerful. One of the greatest lessons from his 74 days alone in the wilderness was being able to step back and see his life from the outside, to recognize which time he was using well and which time he was wasting. That kind of clarity, he said, is something very few people ever experience. Clay Hayes is proof that there are still people out there who truly live, who walk away from security to pursue something greater, who survive 74 days alone in grizzly country with a bow they built with their own hands. If you haven't checked out his channel yet, look him up as at Clay Hayes Hunter on YouTube. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and get ready to see the outdoor world in a way you've never seen before. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Like, comment, and share it with someone who loves nature. See you in the next one.